So I wanted to see if this will work. I'm trying to share my screen here. So see if this works. My screen here is on HAR. So starting over, go into your tempo. Let's see, enter matrix. Sorry, this is the start. So you want to enter matrix. To look for comps, you want to go to your transactions, search. You can either do a quick search or a classic search. This will give you more, this will give you less inputs. This will give you more inputs. So if you're doing a comp search, I typically do that one. So you were looking at a duplex. So you want to go to property type. I did want to make a suggestion that if you're running a comparative CMA, you want to be sure that exactly what the client is going to be selling. So is it a duplex? Is he selling both sides of the duplex or just one side? And also, is he going to be calling it possibly a townhouse community? Because townhouses are attached to each other as well, just like a duplex. And townhouses are typically, most of the time, only sold in single units. So 2 townhouses together, and you're only selling half of it. Sometimes the duplexes in HAR are sold, both of them, 2 of them, 1 duplex as a package. So you need to be on the lookout for that. So even if you're running a CMA for a duplex, you might also want to check out townhouses too. And I'll show you how to do that. So as far as the duplex goes, search, classic, click duplex. So these are all your parameters. So obviously you want to leave open the prices. So I click, and autofill is 0 to 180 days. That's pretty good. You don't really want to go further back than that right now. The market's changing too much. You might even want to shorten that up. But duplexes, there's not going to be a whole lot of them. So you might have to open it up a little bit, maybe to the past year. I wouldn't go further than that. Appraisers typically look at only in the past 6 months. But again, there's not going to be a whole lot of duplexes out there. So that another reason why you might want to look into townhouses as your comparative as well. Or even single family homes, if they're similar in size, yard. Obviously, they're not going to be worth as much, in my opinion, because they're not single family detached. Duplexes aren't, but that's kind of where you got to use your own kind of analysis to kind of review this stuff and give the client your best opinion on the subject. So anyway, we're going to go back 6 months. You can do within 5 miles of my location, or you can type in an address. Another neat thing you can do is you can do a map search. So you're going to hit map. You're going to zoom in to the area you want to be in. You can draw. Let's see, go down to 242. Go over, click. Every time you change directions, you got to click. Maybe you don't want that part of 45, so go there. This is obviously a very wide range for comps, but it's a duplex, so you're not, so you close in the shape. Click back to criteria. and that will be saved in there. Then you want to go to, again, you can make parameters such as garage, number of garages too. So if your client has a 2-car garage that would be, so the difference with a duplex is you might hit 2-car garage plus, but it's possibly going to come up as maybe one side of the duplex has one and then the other side has one, but they're selling it as a package. So it's going to have 2-car garages. So you're going to have to go into each of these and verify what exactly they're selling. I'm going to take that out. I'm most likely, when I'm doing a duplex, I wouldn't do a lot of parameters because you're not going to find a lot of comps because there's not as many. But if you were doing a single family house, you would have to put in more parameters. So if it was a house, I would stick with the square footage. Let's say it's a 1,500 square foot house. I would do between 1,000 square feet and 2,000 square feet. If it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, I would try to stick to those parameters, 3, 2. And I would probably do a 2-car garage if my house had a 2-car garage, because again, a single family home, you're going to have a lot of comps in that area. I also would have narrowed in the area if it was a single family home. But again, it's going to come down to you knowing the area. So if you know in Conroe that those areas are all similar to each other, then you can pick a wider area if you're familiar with the area. Appraisers most of the time don't like to go within more than 5 miles of the property. If they can find it, they typically like to stay in the same neighborhood. If they can find 3 active and 3 sold comps. So with those parameters, I'm going to hit results. And again, it only found 1, which is pending. And that doesn't even look like a duplex. So go back to criteria. Now you're going to have to open this up. I'm going to cancel all those. And now I found 2 matches. So we already looked at that one. I'm going to look at this one. That's not even a duplex. So that's going to be harder, a duplex, like I said. So I'm going to clear the map. Clearing the whole map, there's still only 241 matches. So an idea that I do, again, this is just using using your head, is I pick maybe an area that I think is similar to Conroe. In that area, like, and I look at the photos and I see, okay, is it maybe if they're brand new homes, then I'm going to look for a brand new duplex. So I'm going to go to criteria and I'm going to try to eliminate the older houses by going to year built, 2020 plus. Even that gave me 27. So at least that narrowed it down. And I'm going to look at them. Where are they at? Alvin. Alvin's pretty similar to Conroe, I would say. I would say Conroe is a little bit better as far as prices go, but Alvin's not terrible. And I would go, okay, what are they selling exactly? Are they selling 2 units? Unit A floor plan, unit B floor plan? It looks like they're just selling it individually, as far as I can see. You read the agent comments. It looks like they're selling, it's a 2-2. So it looks like they're just selling it individually. There's 1 bedroom, there's 2 bedroom, there's the master. So, yep, there you go. That would be a good comp. Again, taking into account for it's in Alvin. But these are things you can use to help yourself narrow into this price point that you're trying to drive to. Okay. And I would go to the next one and I would see, okay, what am I looking at? That's another one in Alvin. Here's a So is the builder, ask him, can I have a copy of your floor plan? Can I have some design pictures? Can I have something to go on? Because this is in Houston. I'm not too familiar with that area. Let me click on the map. Again, I lived in Conroe, so I'm pretty familiar. I mean, that's an up and coming area. I'm not too familiar. I live here right now, and I used to live off 242 in Conroe. And then I lived off 1488 for a little while. So I'm more familiar with Conroe than I am here. But I mean, like I said, sometimes it pays for you to actually drive to the property that you are comping out. I mean, I don't always do that. And I know you don't want to have to do that, but sometimes a little bit of extra legwork and that client can see that you've really, really done your research. It will go a long ways as far as them realizing that you will go above and beyond what the normal person will do. And driving out there, not only can you get an idea of that area now, so you'll know for next time, and you can give maybe even him some ideas on how they built the property. So what I do is if I drove out there, I would obviously make an appointment to show the house, because you're going to show it to yourself. But I would take pictures and maybe even a little short video and text it to the client and say, hey, here's some ideas that they did. I was out here. I wanted to check out this other comp for you to see how it compared. And it's listed for $275. And here's some pictures of it and videos. And it might go a long way, because he might say, okay, well, this is a cool way that they did the driveway. I like how they divided it. Man, this agent really is on top of their game. So, okay. So anyway, you go through them again. There's a lot of ideas you could do. Let's say you're saying, Ryan, well, I really want to stick to Conroe. Well, then clear the year bill and, put in the city, Conroe. And then open up the days, 365 days. Go a year out. 365. 15 matches now. 2 pending, the rest are sold. Again, some of these aren't within 6 months, but at least you have an idea of what's out there. Again, you need to go by each of them and see if this one looks like they're just selling half. Again, you can see the list price. Go to the bottom. You can see the sales price. And then what day it closed. Well, this was an co-op sale. You don't see that very often. Cash sale too. And then it'll tell you who paid for the title policy and if they paid any closing costs and how long it took to close. So this is all good information to have. You can click on the pictures to verify it was only half. Looks that way to me. Right hand, look, duplex listed for sale. There you go. Okay, so let's go again. If you want to know more information about that house, I think you know this. You can go on the attachments and see the survey, seller's disclosure. Sometimes you want to look at that information. You want to see if it flooded, and because that'll be a big difference between your price and their price. So we'll go down here. Doesn't look like, according to the seller. I always disclose this to the client. According to the seller, it didn't flood, but it's always best to get a home inspection, because the seller, unfortunately, it's possible, and I tell my clients this, they may not tell the whole truth. They're supposed to,